Hey everyone, and welcome to the penultimate place to get your video game news and reviews. This is episode 54 of the Penultimate Game Show, and today's topic is a Crystal Dynamics conversation. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, feel free to give us a good rating on that platform. It helps with the algorithms and helps us grow our audience. If you're watching on YouTube, consider dropping a like and a sub, and don't forget to hit the bell to get notifications for all of our shows, like the Marvel Mondays Initiative, the Cross Media Show, and Anime Nation. If you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on Twitch and have Amazon Prime, you have Prime Gaming, which means you have one free sub to give out. And we'd love it if you gave it to us, but if not, hey, it happens. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ben, the director of this channel. And of course, as always, with me, I have my co hosts, Ryan and Lane. Ryan, how's it going, buddy?
Doing good, doing good.
Good. Lane, how's it going?
Good.
All right.
Excited to talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah. Well, we're going to lightly touch on Kingdom Hearts and then save it for next week, okay?
Oh man, I'm gonna go all in.
No. We'll save that for next week. That's a whole hour and a half
That's an episode.
in and of itself. Let's get into some housekeeping. This week, we did a crap ton of stuff that feels like we didn't do. No, we didn't do a lot, but it felt like it did. I don't know. Time is a flat circle, everybody. This week on the Marvel Mondays initiative, we talked about that Moon Knight episode 2 and how we thought about it, and we also kind of touched on that on the Cross Media Show on Tuesday, which we did a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review for that one. So it's up on YouTube, it's up on podcast services. Feel free to go check those out, and it's also on the website. So go check those out. I think that's it. Yesterday I played some Halo. We're gonna get into that a little later. And then I want to say something's happening this weekend.
Easter's this weekend. If
There you
if
go.
anyone celebrates that.
There you go. And Passover is also this weekend. So
Yeah.
happy celebrations, everybody. And as always, feel free to leave your thoughts and questions on our SpeakPipe, speakpipe.com/penultimateconquest. Oh, I forgot to mention what our lineup of shows is next week. That should probably help. Next Monday, obviously, we're going to have a special guest on the Marvel Mondays initiative talking episode 3 of Moon Knight. Next Tuesday on the Cross Media Show, I believe I have it scheduled for us to start our Christopher Nolan review. But
I believe it is Prestige, right? What are we starting? No,
Memento.
Memento.
Yeah,
Memento. I'm like order Pimento, yeah.
Yeah. Order Pimento.
Order Pimento.
So get excited for that. Christopher Nolan in review. That's my lifelong dream, until we finally get to the
it's gonna be awesome.
masterpiece of Interstellar, and I can't wait. Oh my god!
Interstellar's the masterpiece.
I assumed you were gonna say something like, I don't know, The Prestige.
I mean, The Prestige is great. Don't get me wrong.
Or
but
The Dark Knight, or something like that.
You ever just sit down and watch Interstellar?
A few times, I would say.
In the dark and just listen to that soundtrack, Oh, it's so great. It's so great. So check it out. Obviously, like I said before, we're going to be talking all about Kingdom Hearts 4, our hopes and our dreams next week on the Penultimate Game Show. So that is going to be a hell of a conversation. Like I said,
It's so good, dude. I can't wait.
maybe a 3-hour conversation,
Let's go.
Could be.
Could be.
You can go all
Could be
night.
3 hours. It could be 5. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
We'll go till the sun comes up.
Oh boy. I'm
I'll have
okay
a
with that.
whiteboard.
Yeah. We'll just line out all the things that we want.
Yeah.
So, let's get into what have we been playing recently. Ryan, what you been playing?
So, I've been playing just through my Steam library here.
Oh.
But not on my computer, but I've been playing it from the bed on my new Steam Deck.
Oh my god.
It's an interesting little device. It's good. It's insane for the price it is.
Which one did you get?
I got the mid-tier one, like the
Okay.
530, 520.
Okay.
The one with just not only 63 gigabytes of storage.
The 256, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I got.
NVMe.
And from what I've explored around with it and stuff so far, the basic UI and everything on it's fantastic. We're getting your Steam games up and working. Pretty much anything you'd want to play is good on it. Some things have smaller text, and that's about it.
Okay.
Like a lot of heavy reading games, that kind of thing, like RPGs and stuff. I can see this not being the best way to play them.
Mm-hmm.
But I also could see it not being the worst way. It's like playing Witcher 3 on your Switch. Is it how that game was meant to be played? Probably not, but it's nifty. I can do it from anywhere.
Wasn't it also meant to be played on the PS3 and Xbox 360?
Yes.
So,
But now we're basically able to carry one of those on us, and that's where this little device gets fun.
okay.
Is the minute you get out of big picture mode, Steam Deck mode, and you make it into a little computer.
Oh, you've already hacked it,
Oh.
so to speak.
Well, no, you can just do that. You just click a button.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm getting to that. This thing's going to be a ROM machine. I can already tell.
Ah, that's good.
The shit people have been putting out for it and stuff, and it can take up to 4 SD cards.
Oh my god.
I wonder what Ruben's gonna do with his.
What could it be?
It's and it's quite easy to do. I'll let you know. So I can definitely see it being like the PSP, where the PSP had some great stuff on it, some great uses for it.
Mm-hmm.
But the PSP was a ROM hack machine. That's what the PSP survived on, is that you could easily download SNES games onto it.
That's what it survived on, not the fucking. What were they?
Wasn't
called?
in the library.
It wasn't the library.
No, what were
A
the?
UMD.
There you go, a UMD.
Yeah,
Oh.
no, it didn't survive off UMDs. It survived off being able to play Mario.
Oh, Sony.
And I love the PSP. It survived off that and its ability to play movies at a
Oh,
480p
yes.
quality.
Yes, yes. How could we forget?
I think that's why I watched Daredevil.
Oh god. That's a reference to Sonic the Hedgehog review. Go watch it.
Yeah. Keep them out all week, people. But no, for what it is, it's insane. It's absolutely insane that I can play my pretty much Steam library, which if you're somebody who has a built-up Steam library,
I'm getting there.
this thing's great for that. You can just power through
Most
it.
people that have Steam.
Yeah. So most people like especially for those little games that you talk yourself into buying, because they're usually less graphically intense, all that kind of thing. So it's a great place for indies. They all feel great on
Final
it, all
Fantasy
that kind of thing.
13, Final Fantasy 13 2.
You could play 13 too.
Final Fantasy
But
13.
I mean, hell, people are getting fucking Games Pass to work on this thing at the moment.
Whoa.
Oh.
Interesting.
Like actual drivers put out by Steam
Microsoft?
and Xbox. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So the possibilities with this thing are still getting figured out. People have had it for about a month now.
Yeah.
Where this thing will be in 3 months to a year, that's what I'm excited for.
Okay.
Because people are going to do some real weird shit with this. And it's going to be real fun.
So I have one question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Orion recommends? Should I wait for the second edition of the Steam Deck where it gets smaller, you know?
I would wait a gen. Because this still has first gen hiccups.
Okay.
Like, the heating could be done better. The fan is loud as hell.
Okay.
My problems with it all, the heating, the battery life, everyone who's owned one has complained about the battery life. It lasts for like an hour to 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
What the hell are you playing on this?
Dang.
If you play anything above like any like PS4 mid, like a game that came out like mid PS4 era,
Okay.
it's gonna kill your battery.
Jesus.
You can play indie games for like 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours for a screen that size and be fine.
Wasn't it supposed to come out? Well, wasn't there a dock supposed to come out? So like,
I believe a dock did come out, but I also know you can just kind of build your own with cables.
oh, okay, sweet. I don't have
Okay.
to spend
Yeah.
$150 for the dock.
Like I know just with like an HDMI to USB-C, you can plug it in and then you can Bluetooth a controller to it,
Awesome. That's
or Bluetooth a
That's easy
keyboard
enough.
to it
Yeah.
and a mouse, and
Yeah.
you'll be fine.
oh, awesome. Okay.
Sick.
Already
Yeah,
know
no,
that.
this thing is really interesting in what it can be done with, what can be done with it.
Okay.
So for my first week, I've done a few little weird things with it, and mostly just played my Steam library how I intended it to do. And it's great. The trackpad, the thing that I thought would be the worst part about it, has a really cool tactile feel to it.
Ooh.
And I'm like, so when you're running a finger cross, it has this nice tactileness for like a mouse movements and all that.
Okay.
So for things such as like RTS games and stuff where you're just pulling units and moving them, it feels real great. It feels real nice. So overall, I wouldn't recommend it right now, but it's definitely something to keep your eye on to see what happens with it, and if something cool you can do with it that you'd like to.
Mm-hmm.
That I'd get one.
Okay.
Or if you're an emulation person, I'll be honest. Games are hard. It's hard to preserve games. It's real hard. That's where I'd recommend it.
Especially for some companies that may
That
may
run
not
with
be-
Nintendo.
Yeah, that I don't know who that could be.
I
Honestly.
have no idea. They
I don't know. It's crazy.
Mother 3, great time.
Okay. Sweet. So.
Yeah, so that's my quick review of the Steam Deck.
Okay. Oh man. But so like let's say if I had mine, I already reserved a reservation, I guess.
Yeah, you put your $5 down.
Yeah, I put the $5 down. Should I just use it? Should I get it now and use it as pretty much a PC, a gaming PC? Since you said I could just put a USB-C to USB.
Yeah, you could easily do that.
Sweet. Okay. So, I guess I'm keeping mine.
I mean, it probably isn't more powerful than your current PC.
Well, Ryan, let's all remind everybody. I have your old graphics card, which was what, a 1660?
1660 Super.
A 1660 Super. What are the well, now I have to look up the specs for a Steam Deck.
It's Linux. It's gonna be weird.
Okay. Yeah, this is jibber jabber to me. What the hell is an 8-core AMD RDNA 2 graphics?
They're about equal.
Oh,
If
okay,
I'm being
awesome.
honest.
Okay, that works.
Equal to a little worse. Again, though, you gotta remember this thing's the size of a Switch, with like the nice, like if your Switch had an Xbox controller attached on each side of it,
Okay.
like if you cut an Xbox controller in half and just glued it to the side of a normal Switch,
All right.
yeah, that's just about how much bigger it is.
Okay, it's doable.
It's doable. So for that size and everything, the power is kind of insane.
Okay. All right. So,
It's basically like a mobile PS4.
oh, awesome.
Wow.
You sold me
That's
on that.
about the strength of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if you tried to play a late gen PS4 game on a base PS4 now,
So you
it
tell
will
me.
make the same noises.
So it'll sound like a jet's taking off.
I don't have
Yeah.
to keep carrying this thing around. It's a 3DS.
Why do you have that on you?
Again, I'm still playing Pokemon Yellow.
Look, man, where else can you play Pokemon?
Yeah,
That's fair.
on my
That's
Steam
fair.
Deck, maybe,
Possibly.
possibly.
Dude, I'd pay $400 to be able to play Pokemon on somewhere else
Comfortably?
than 3DS.
All of them? Yeah, absolutely. The only thing is, how do you get those Pokemon onto Pokemon Home? That's a story for another time. Okay,
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Lane, what have you been up to?
Still working my way through Elden Ring.
Okay, how's it going?
Oh my god, dude, it's so good. I love this game so much.
How many hours in?
Last I checked last night was about 60. I'm getting close to 70.
Okay.
I believe I've hit the last area of the game, or like just about the last like big area. And yeah, oh my god, it's fantastic. Probably will be my game of the year at the end of the year, unless something else just comes out and just blows it out of the water.
Again, Triangle Strategy has come out already. That's all
All
I'm
right,
saying.
I'll give it a shot.
That's
I don't know
all
if
I'm
I don't
saying.
know if it'll be as good as Elden Ring, but
I
I'll
mean,
give it
it
a
might
shot.
be better.
Uh, it could be.
It
Don't
could
know.
be. You never know. Speaking
Also
of,
been
sorry, go ahead, Lane. My
Oh no,
apologies.
I've also been slowly grinding my character out in Destiny.
Okay. How was the DLC? Pretty good.
It's really good. Honestly, it's probably the best one I've played since. Honestly, probably the best one I've played since Forsaken.
Ooh, I thought it was.
I don't know if it's as
Sorry.
good as Forsaken, but it's pretty close.
Okay. All right.
Is it, so I went the Elden Ring route because those poor games came out the same day,
Yeah.
and so it's actually quite good because again, everybody I knew was playing Elden Ring at the time. So anybody who I would have gone to for Destiny 2 news or of telling me it's good was playing Elden Ring. So it's actually good.
Oh yeah. No, I've kind of been juggling my time with both those games. Like I definitely just started jumping. I jumped into like this expansion late because I just jumped in like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe.
Well, I've described Destiny 2 to many people as a job.
Yeah.
Playing it feels like a job.
It can, depending on like I just try to I'm playing it as a hobby right now. Not I'm not playing as it. Elden
Hey,
Ring
Mike,
is my job.
listen,
Elden Ring is my job right now.
I understand what you mean. It's a
Okay.
lifestyle.
All right. Anything else? Is that it?
So far just those two because I'm trying to get through, trying to finish Elden Ring
Gotcha. Okay.
and then just kind of play Destiny on the
How
side.
far in do you think you are?
In Elden Ring?
Yeah. How many
Um,
Great Rune bosses have you taken out?
oh gosh, let's see. I can tell you exactly where I am, and I'm pretty sure I'm at the like second to last area or like last area, but I don't want to give away like I don't know if I can give away like names of
Is it
places and stuff if it's
snowy?
spoilers. Yes.
Okay. You you have a bit more than you think,
Okay.
but you're getting close.
Okay.
Probably like
That's
under
interesting.
20 hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
I just made it there, finished up fairly important characters quest line.
Oh, I think I know which one it is, and it's quite
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
The dog.
That's a good quest. That's a
finished
good
that one
quest.
up. And then now I'm gonna work my way through that area and this new area and see what boss I'm gonna have to beat my head against the wall to beat this time.
Yeah, yeah, it's the fun of it all. And speaking of fun, Ben, what have you been playing?
Well, obviously, I haven't been playing much. I played some Halo last night, and it was good, but again, just playing solo kind of sucks, which is fine. You
Oof.
know, people are busy. I get it. Not everybody can just drop stuff and play some Halo, which is fine. But you know, I could use some friends. You know, but since I don't have enough stuff to say about what I've been playing, I want to read you a couple of numbers, gentlemen.
Okay.
Our fantasy draft update. And you pieces of shits are like so below me, it's unbelievable. All right. I have projected points 106.24.
Oh,
Actual points accrued 41.25. All right. Everybody laughed at me. Oh, Ruben, you're picking shitty ass games. Shitty ass games have been fucking knocking it out of the park. I'd say the only shitty game that I've picked so far has been Ghostwire Tokyo with a 7 points. That's
Mhm.
it's given me. So let me
Wait,
give
did I
you.
get more points for fucking Strangers of Paradise than you did for
I'll tell you.
Ghostwire?
I'll tell you right now.
Because I hope I didn't. I played both games, and one of those is
No,
good.
no, no. Strangers of Paradise gave you 3 points.
Oh, thank God. I was
Ghostwire
worried.
Ghostwire Tokyo gave me 7.
I was like, oh, sweet Jesus.
So, just to let you know who's in the lead, it is currently Eric with 109.49 points.
What the fuck gave Eric that many
Dang.
points?
I will tell you right now. Give me 1 second. Destiny 2.
Oh, of
18
course.
points.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Dying
fair.
Light
That's fair.
2 gave him 6. Weird West gave him 6. And it helped that his counter pick, which was Strangers of Paradise, only gave him negative 3 points.
Oh.
Hey, it still gave him negative points though. So fuck you, Eric.
I
It
don't
was a
know if
bad
you.
pick.
No, it
There were games
wasn't.
on here that were going to.
Stop. It
You
was
could have
not a
called
bad
Breath
pick.
of the Wild for it not coming out this year. There's things you could have done.
Yeah, but Breath of the Wild was a very hectic. I would not have picked that as a counter pick. So Eric's in first place. I am in second place with 106.24 points. This is all projected. Lane is in third place, 98.99 points.
Is
Nice.
that Elden Ring?
Elden Ring definitely helped
Sure,
him
it's
out.
all Elden Ring.
Triangle strategy brought him right back down, buddy.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Like
Bad.
I said, Goaty. So
I was like, I think what happened was when my counter pick was kind of late, so I was like, I literally don't
yeah,
like
you were. I
all
think
the
you were the
like all
last
the
person to
the
pick.
bad
Yeah.
games had been picked. So I'm like, I literally don't even know. I
Yeah.
had to bank on maybe this game won't be received that well, but
It happens. I mean, hey, you could be much worse, like Ryan with
That's
his
true.
counter pick as Forspoken.
oh,
I'm sorry,
I
Ryan.
I did not think that game was going to make its date. I thought they were going to push it a year. I thought
No,
Final
they
Fantasy.
pushed it already.
So yes, you remember we made that though before
you
the
say
push.
that, but it's
No.
Square Enix though. They'll push
We
stuff
made
however
it
it far.
after they pushed it. It was originally
No,
supposed to
it
come
wasn't
out.
pushed in.
No, I
No, it
think it
was
was
still
before they
coming
pushed
out
it.
it was still coming out in March.
Yeah.
So I figured we were going to get
Oh.
Final Fantasy 16
This guy.
at that game event. So I was like, that game ain't coming out this year. They're going to put Final Fantasy 16.
I could have sworn that we were waiting on. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Speaking of Ryan, Ryan has 91.49 points in fourth place. And again, sorry, Ryan, you decided to pick such weird games. You were going so strong with Gran Turismo 7 and Total War Warhammer 3, and then Strangers of Paradise is just like there.
My picks are actually kind of good.
They are, but you're
Like
still
I think Splatoon
yeah.
and Mario plus Rabbids will get me some good points.
Yeah. We also you also have you both have like what is it 6 more picks that you can make.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
have not touched any of your budget to make picks, which is totally fine.
E3 seems like the time to do it.
E3's dead, my friend.
Yeah.
Weren't you here last week?
Yeah, but I still think that there's going to be things at Summer Games Show.
We'll see. We'll see. And then of course, Christian with the bad takes. 87.88 in dead last. It's crazy. Especially this guy picked Breath of the Wild 2. Yikes and a half, am I right? So, I'm sorry, Christian, this goes out to you, but I don't remember what was the game that I would like to buy. Just buy yourself a nice copy of Project Triangle Strategy. You know? Play that for yourself. No, I don't need it. I already got a copy. Just play it for yourself. All right. Having said that, it's time to get into some gaming news. Surprise, surprise, everybody. Kingdom Hearts 4 was announced this past weekend at the 20th anniversary celebrations event. And wow, I was not expecting just a straight sequel from 3 to 4.
Nope.
I am very happy it's a straight sequel. Yeah. What are you guys' thoughts? Were you surprised?
Oh, absolutely. One, no weird subtitle.
Yeah.
We're just going straight to 4, which I was like, all right, like I'm down. Like, don't get me wrong, that's awesome. But I was banking on the next game's probably gonna be Kingdom Hearts, whatever subtitle they're gonna throw on there.
358 over 2 minus 60.
Yeah, something like that.
17th in the third quarter.
Yeah. I definitely think I know they revealed the game like pretty early because from my understanding it's in really early development.
Yeah.
The trailer was an Unreal Engine 4, and the game's not even going to be in that engine. The game's going to be in Unreal Engine 5.
Yes.
But they showed it early because, from my understanding, because of the NVIDIA leak, and they didn't want the full game to just completely leak. So they were like, okay,
Well, it
we'll
was
talk about
that.
it now.
It was that, and he Nomura also wanted to make sure that there was some news happening at the 20th anniversary.
That's true. Because if it just would have been the other news, I would have been
We could have
honestly
been,
pretty
yeah.
way disappointed.
This could have been just like Nintendo throwing Legend of Zelda under the bus last year.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they gave us something. But
Yep.
speaking of Nomura, I do have some news. He says everybody's freaking out about this new art style for Sora, and thank God it is just for this world.
I hate
I mean,
that.
I'm a little iffy on either of them. Like, I'd be totally fine if they went with the more realistic stuff, just because the graphics are gonna get a lot better. But I
It
kind of
did
get
the way Sora looks a lot in the trailer.
but I
See,
kind of get why everyone likes the original. Like, I can go either way. Honestly, I don't care too much.
for
Can we shrink
me,
his shoes?
no. They did shrink his shoes in this.
I was up at 4 a.m. watching this. Don't worry.
But honestly, if people know, if you've played any other Kingdom Hearts and he goes to another world, he looks he'll look different depending on some of the worlds. And
Yeah.
now
He
he's in a
doesn't. He
different world,
looks.
so
The only word where I can really think of him changing styles, like his whole character, style, and not just
Lion
an
King.
outfit change, is Monster
Monsters
Inc.
Inc., Atlantis, he's a merman.
But he still looks like
Yeah,
himself.
but he's technically different.
The
And
Lion King. He's
That's
He's a
still
lion.
that's like Monsters Inc.
okay.
Halloween
Yeah.
Town, he kind of gets another costume.
That's a costume. That's a
Well,
costume.
let's see what other
It's
one
my
is.
favorite costume.
Yeah.
I
Great
am.
costume.
I just see the thing is I was not a fan of this art style. Well, the way he looks in this trailer, just because it is kind of feeling like he's turning it into the Final Fantasy VII remake art style, which understandably so. It's a great art style. Look, I just don't think it fits with Disney characters. You know?
Oh no,
Is this
I don't think he's doing that. I think he's absolutely just being like, all right, look, how can I'm gonna make Versus 13 without actually making
I
Versus
think
13.
this is
Exactly.
I
Because
think this
Yeah.
game is
because
going
Square
to be
took this
versus
away from
13.
me, so I'm just gonna shove it in Kingdom Hearts, which
Yeah.
I'm all for, because
Yeah.
I wanted Versus 13 so bad.
That
Absolutely.
trailer was rad.
Yes.
Oh my
It-
god.
So
And-
I'm very excited about this, Ryan.
I mean, he tried to in Toy Story World. He was like, "I'm going to bring in aspects of 13."
yes, and I'm glad. Listen, it worked. You know.
Yeah,
This-
that's the only good world in that game.
Well, also it worked because he didn't put a lot into 3 with
Yeah.
Ferrum Rex.
No,
He's
three had to be what it had to be.
No, I mean like with Final Fantasy 13 verses. Like he
Yes,
didn't put
no,
he
he
put he
made-
sprinkled it in. You know.
Yeah.
Yes, no,
But
he
then
wasn't.
if you watch that ending, it's literally just
Yes.
copy paste.
Yes.
15 or Versus 13, like what he was gonna do with Noctis.
But he wanted to sprinkle it in the first place, and then after the game was a success, Square was like, "All right, Nomura, you know what you're doing. Just do whatever the fuck you want, as long as it's making us money." And boom, Remind DLC.
So, what were you going to ask me about Kingdom Hearts?
I was
Ruben?
gonna say, were you surprised?
Was I surprised by it?
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's called just straight 4. That surprised me. I'm with you guys. I figured it was going to be. I was expecting a Switch exclusive, and it was going to be a sequel to Dream Drop Distance.
God,
Oh
no.
sweet Jesus, no.
I was actually
No.
expecting subtitled game with a new protagonist, kind of like how they did with
So, like bringing in like Roxas.
no,
Like that kind of-
no, like
Oh, just completely new,
You mean a
person?
completely new person? Everything.
yeah, I mean a completely new person in it.
Kind of like what they're doing, like Missing Link, basically, but
No,
like that
I would
mobile
say
game
kind
that
of
they're
like
doing.
how they did with Birth by Sleep. Like
Oh,
they
where they
just
brought in the
introduced
trio.
3 new characters, but this
Yeah.
one I was well, for a new game I was expecting just one new character because it's the Lost Master arc. So I was
Yeah.
expecting.
Well,
them
I
to
assumed
show
we
off.
were gonna get like Dream Drop distance to like 2, if that makes
Nah,
sense.
I just
Because
feel
That's what
like
I was
because
expecting.
could I throw spoilers out for the end of Kingdom Hearts 3?
you know
The
what?
game's been out for a few
It's
years.
about time. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, spoilers for the end of Kingdom Hearts 3. If you haven't played it, what are you doing? Yeah. So Sora and Riku get teleported to what looks like Japan or this other world,
Shibuya.
whatever.
Shibuya.
Is it Alter World or whatever it's called? I don't know.
I thought it was
Whatever they call it
Shibuya.
in the
Call it
trailer.
Alter World.
Oh,
Is that what
okay.
it's called? Yeah.
Hmm.
They get teleported there. So I assume in 4, we're either just gonna play straight as Sora, or it's gonna be maybe a Dream Drop Distance thing where you play as Riku
Half and
sometimes because
half.
he's also there.
Interesting.
I wouldn't surprise me if the next trailer we get for this game is Riku waking up. Is Riku somewhere else in that
I hope
world?
so. I don't know what that dude's up to.
I could see that being where it goes, but we'll
Okay.
save that for next week's episode on Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. The next news story is Breath of the Wild 2. Everybody's been talking about Breath of the Wild 2 recently. There's people saying that this trailer looks very high definition for the Switch, but it might not be able to run on a regular Switch. I believe this was coming from, I don't have the news story here, but if I remember correctly, it was Digital Foundry did a whole video on it. So go check out that video so you understand what we're talking about. What do we think about this whole rumor in general? Do we expect us getting a Switch Pro? Recently, they said the Switch is halfway through its life cycle. We probably have another 5 years ahead of it. Do we expect a Switch Pro? Do we not expect a Switch Pro? What's going on here?
I expect something like probably like a step up from the OLED, like maybe not running at 4K, but something like close. If that makes
2K
it kind of like what the PS4 can do. I'm not super great on specs, sorry, but like something like what the PS4 can do, where it's 4K
ish.
kinda like
Yeah.
it's whatever they call it, like checkerboarding or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Something like that, because I don't know if they're gonna be able to do like a handheld 4K without it, melting your hand off and sounding like a jet engine's taking off. Um, but I think Breath of the Wild is gonna run. I honestly don't see why they're not gonna make it run on both. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way.
Okay.
It's gonna be like a Breath of the Wild situation where it comes out on the Wii U and the
Yeah.
Switch. It'll just be on the Switch and the whatever else.
Switch Pro. Super Switch.
If
Whatever.
if that thing is even out by the time Breath of the Wild comes out, we
Could
don't
be
know.
out next year. We'll see.
I don't know. I don't know what Nintendo's doing.
They pushed for
they're
a
all kinda
reason.
off on their
That's all
own.
I'm
Yeah,
saying.
They push because they can.
Yeah.
that
They
too.
push because, again, it's Nintendo. They print gold when they put out a game. And it's just what Nintendo does. It's just, yeah. I mean,
Literal gold, you know?
Like
literal gold.
that's not
Literal
the new
gold.
Pokemon game. What are you talking about,
No,
dude?
it's
Put that down. That ain't Arceus.
Arceus wasn't gold, my friend. I'm sorry to tell you this.
It was like good,
sold
it
like
was a good
gold.
silver.
It sold like gold, but it's no,
It
like
was a good
It's no-
silver, I'd say.
it's
no
it's
hard
no
gold.
sold silver.
Oh,
Right,
I
nicely done,
see what you did
nicely
there.
Yeah. There we go. There we go. Now that also tells me you're more of a Lugia person.
Yes.
Oh,
Well,
Luke
I
is way
mean,
better than Ho-Oh. What are you talking about?
that was my second game ever. Like the
Wow.
second game I ever owned was
Wait, silver or Soul Silver?
silver.
Oh yeah.
Gosh,
Ruben didn't
Crystal's
stop
my-
playing
Crystal's my
games
first
till he
Pokemon
was
game.
Don't take me
17.
for not a weirdo, but a plebe. Please.
Plebeian.
Yeah.
No, my take on the whole Legend of Zelda thing is I don't think they'll. Well, actually, no. Here's my bold Switch prediction.
Oh,
That's
no.
also just a joke.
Oh
No.
no.
We're going to get a Switch 2. It will be called the Super Switch because I think there's something really funny
Super
about
Switch.
I
that.
love that. Just go back
And-
to your roots, you know?
I have this Switch right here without any
Joy-Cons.
fucking Joy-Cons on it. It's going to be 2 of them. It's going to be clamshelled.
Oh no! Please don't do the clamshell again.
We're going to clamshell the Switch, and then
No.
yeah, like the 3DS. So imagine now closing your 3DS and docking it
Do you hear
like
it?
that.
Do you hear it?
What if it's the
Yeah.
3D? What if it's the 3D Switch?
Oh my God, yes, just add 3D to the Switch.
Oh
That's
god.
the only thing they do is add a slider on the side
Oh
and two
no.
screens.
That
Because
sounds.
the
Oh,
3D
yeah.
functionality worked just so well on
I
the
loved getting
original.
random.
Listen,
I loved getting forced headaches.
for what it's worth, on a handheld making some aspects of a game 3D, I'd say it did a pretty good job. Okay.
If I'm being honest, I barely noticed a difference when I played.
I did too.
I never played with it on because it gave me terrible headaches.
Okay. Well, Ryan, I hope your prediction is incorrect. I do think that we are getting a Switch Pro or a Super Switch. My apologies.
Yeah, no, Super Switch trademark pending.
Super
Switch, I
Switch
love
just
it.
sounds so awesome. Just go back
Yeah,
to
See, no, see, but that's the
NES,
thing though. It
SNES.
sounds good, so they won't name it that. They're gonna name it
Yeah,
like
but you also have the problem
the
of Super Switch,
here's
just the initials of that
at
SS.
yeah, it
oh
is bad.
yeah.
I don't know if we want
Okay.
that.
That is bad. We don't want that.
No.
You don't want that to be shortened in every single register in
Yeah,
America.
no. So
What if they just name like abbreviate like SUSW? I don't know.
we could do that. We could do that.
We could do that.
Maybe not just the initials. That would be a
Yeah,
good
yeah.
look.
Where was I going with this though? I had one last thing to say about on this. Oh, I just don't. I think we need to think real world here for a hot sec, and there's barely any chips out there. I don't see Nintendo going into the chip war against PlayStation, Xbox, who are also trying to buy up all of these gaming chips.
Yeah.
I mean, especially with how hot the Switch is still. Like
Yes.
that thing is still a hot. That thing's selling
Yeah,
like crazy
as
still.
long as it keeps selling, I don't think they're going to see a need to upgrade more than OLED for a little while. So I just
Yeah.
don't see it because Nintendo's thing has always been we can make a great game on any piece of hardware.
Well,
We're not living off graphics like the other companies. Our games are just enjoyable because they're enjoyable.
Theirs is more about art style than just
Yeah,
straight
art
like
style.
graphics.
It's so I don't think they feel a absolute need to where because I don't think the devs under them are craving, hey, I wish we could do this at higher resolution. So
The
I think
only
that's
game
a
I would
lot
say
of it all.
that might need it is like Pokemon. Like
Even then,
Arceus didn't like I don't want to say ran the best, but like the like pop in and all
that's
that
also the
stuff was
funny
a
thing when
little
people
iffy.
bring up how it looks like it's not running on a regular Switch. It looks a little bit too high. Why was no one saying that during that Pokemon trailer that came out for the two new Pokemon games? That game does not look like it's running on a base Switch.
well, because it was like it wasn't in engine.
Those world shots had to be. Did it say
I
not
think
an
those
engine on the
were.
bottom?
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was an engine. I
Uh,
mean, I think that one will run fine. I think maybe Arceus because it wasn't like specifically Pokemon team. Wasn't it a different developer?
I
If I
think
remember
so.
correctly.
Yes,
Um.
if I remember correctly, it was. Give me a
Yeah.
sec. Let me look it up.
Either
So
it
that's why I'm thinking
was.
maybe it's not going to look as good as this one,
I
but this one
also
could have been
think
in development maybe a little longer.
you're
So
trying. Again, Pokemon. The problem is you just are throwing games out
granted,
all the
I don't really
time.
care. Granted, I don't really care what the Pokemon game looks like as long as it's more Pokemon.
My
So
apologies. It
That's
was
the
Game Freak.
problem.
Game Freak was working on
I
this, and another development
Being did
company
Diamond and
did.
Pearl,
Yeah.
which fun enough, I enjoyed more. I'll admit that one.
oh.
I'm sorry, but you're lying.
Granted, I'm also part of the problem and will buy just about anything Pokemon puts out, but
Likewise.
Same.
I can't deny it. Christian's in the chat and he says Metroid Prime 4 is a Switch Pro game. Send tweet. And I guess we're gonna have to do the Switch Pro topic for another show because we're getting a little too long here. I would say I believe it exists. I just don't know. I feel like Nintendo's trying to make more of it. You know, if that makes sense. Like
yeah.
making sure
Yeah,
that there's copies. not copies, but like making sure there's hardware for them to sell.
Yeah.
So I give it 2 years.
I say 2 years as well. I don't think it will be a Legend of Zelda like Wii U scenario where this gaming launches. Here's the Legend of Zelda version. I think there will be a Legend of Zelda OLED because there's not been a fancy OLED yet.
Oh my god, could you imagine? But like,
That'd be
Yes.
nice.
Also, Christian, you went on Twitter. Just send the tweet.
yeah. Well, speaking of, we got a little too hectic last night. Okay, somebody decided to send out a very, very disgusting tweet, and I don't appreciate it. And let me read it to you, okay? Before,
You could have a trash can in case I have to throw up.
yeah,
from this
exactly.
Apparently just
That's
disgusting.
exactly what you're gonna have
Absolutely a bomb.
to do. All right. So
Pouring east of a tree.
somebody sent out, remember what they took from us, and it's a picture of George Costanza in a hospital bed, and it says this was supposed to be the summer of Morbius. Now this went into a long discussion. 10 people liked the tweet, which I don't appreciate this at all. It went on to an investigation, and I said, stop putting the Costanza name in the mud. And I said, God damn it, Eric, because Eric sent it into the group chat before.
That is peak Eric.
Yeah. He had the audacity to say, I'm at work. I didn't do this. So then I said, oh, Christian, et tu, Brute? And then I said, I put out a GIF of, funny enough, Kingdom Hearts 3. It's Woody saying, after all we've been through. And Christian goes, I'm podcasting, sir. IDK, what's going on? And then I put out, there's a knife in my back. And then Eric had the audacity to say, how do we know you didn't do this, Ruben? You're the one posting this GIF. And I said, there's a goddamn knife in my back, Eric. And then Ryan had the audacity to put out, I wish I knew, a GIF from none other than Morbius itself. So, Christian, you got some explaining to do, buddy.
You got some splaining to
Why
do.
does my back hurt so much?
Or Morbius this summer.
Don't you ever say
Summer
that.
Morbius back on.
No, it's not. It was never on to begin with, okay? It was never on to begin with. We're going to skip the Halo Season 2 stuff. We'll come back to that at another time. Let's just get straight into it. Crystal Dynamics announced a new entry in the Tomb Raider series. I want to say this was 2 weeks ago, last week.
Oops.
2 weeks
sounds
ago.
about right.
When they did the whole announcement for Unreal Engine 5, there was nothing that was shown off, but I wanted to get together with you guys to talk about Crystal Dynamics in and of itself. So a couple weeks ago, I was on the Point in Progress podcast, and we got into the topic of Crystal Dynamics helping out the coalition or the initiative. I don't remember the quadruple A studio at Xbox. Whichever one it is, the coalition, the
That's
initiative.
not the coalition. Coalition's Gears.
The initiative, okay. Fucking Xbox, get it together with these fucking names. Okay.
I'm not the one doing it.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying Xbox. Get it together
I'm
with
just
these
letting you
names.
know. You know what?
The topic of conversation was there was a news story that came out that said pretty much that everybody is kind of leaving the initiative, right? Is that what we just said? Agreed upon? The initiative. And that Crystal Dynamics has been brought on to help out with the Perfect Dark video game that the initiative is supposed to be working on. The first ever quadruple A video game.
Quadruple A.
So it's interesting because we also have Crystal Dynamics working on the worst game I could possibly play, which is the Avengers game, you know?
Made it into our top 5 games of 2020.
Stop bringing it up. Please stop bringing it up. It hurts every time you bring this up.
You say it's so bad, but why is it in the top 5?
Because Eric made a coup, okay? Eric made a coup.
Eric's put all the knives in
You
your
were
back, didn't
supposed
he?
to vote for Final Fantasy VII.
And you know what? I'm starting to think that Eric is the one that put this knife in my back. Okay? I'm starting to think that's the case. But anyway, Crystal Dynamics is doing a lot lately, okay? They're working on a new Tomb Raider game, they're working on the Avengers game, but there's also, not theories, but there's also talk about that game being shut down pretty soon. They are working on Perfect Dark, helping that out, helping, quote unquote, which I think they're just taking the lead on this, and Xbox is just like, hey, we'll pay you a lot of money if you tell everybody that this is actually our game, not Square's. What
Here's
do
the
we,
thing, though. If that helps Square get to do the weird JRPG shit I like at full budget, hey, take Xbox money to go work on Perfect Dark.
oh yeah, absolutely. But before we like talk about that in and of itself, what do you guys think of Crystal Dynamics? You guys like them? Is it a good game studio? Have they put out bangers in the past? Ryan, what do you think?
So here's my hot take. I don't like Tomb Raider, the new version.
You monster.
I just couldn't get into it. I tried to play that first one. I tried. I got like 50% of the way through and I just didn't want to play it anymore.
The first one was probably one of the better of the three.
Oh, that's bad. So they went
I
downhill
would
in
say
quality.
no. I would say it for me. It's number two out of the three.
Because what is it? It's Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider,
No,
right?
it's
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
oh
That's the final one, right?
Shadow of the Tomb Raider is the final one. Second one is Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then it's just Tomb Raider. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow.
Okay.
Cool.
Yes.
And then you made one of the worst games, live service things I've ever seen with Marvel's Avengers. You were given a IP that I didn't think could fail. You were given the best possible IP in the world at the moment.
Now here's the thing. I want to say they were given the IP, and the single player story is pretty good. Okay. I don't think it was their idea to make this a live service game. I think Square, the three of us love Square Enix here. I'm going to say something blasphemous, but Square fucked up on that. Okay. They decided.
I would say blasphemous more just like sadly it's probably correct because I
Okay,
love Square,
well.
but they don't always make the best decisions.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
No.
I just want to make sure my bases are covered.
Remember the 2010s.
No. Shh. We don't remember.
Let's not we don't speak about the dark times.
The dark times, exactly. I think Square decided like, hey, this is the Avengers. They're making millions off of this. We should probably try to get in on that. And they decided to make a studio that is primarily action single player based into a multiplayer games as a service game. So I don't think it's really Crystal Dynamics' fault of why that game sucks so bad. I just want to put that out there. Lane, what do you think? What's your thoughts on Crystal Dynamics?
They're not my favorite developer. I think they're fine. Like they don't really make like stuff they make not really my cup of tea.
Okay.
I played the first Tomb Raider game like years ago. It was fine. I thought it was like kind of similar to Uncharted, but just not as good.
Well, some might say Uncharted took it from.
Yeah, okay. Technically, yes, Uncharted
Okay.
did take it from Tomb Raider.
Uncharted did
Older
not
Tomb
take
Raiders.
the vibe of the brand new Tomb Raider.
No,
The
I would
brand
say
new
no.
I
I'm
just
saying
I didn't. The vibe and stuff wasn't. I thought it was good. It like pretty fun. But I was like, okay, that's fine. I don't know if I'm gonna. I was never too excited for the sequels or anything like that.
okay.
Uh, didn't really care for Avengers. Didn't play it, but I heard the story was good, and that's about it.
It's on sale for
Because
$5.99.
everything else sounds like, kind of like a dumpster fire with that game.
Okay,
Is Spider-Man out yet?
I think so. Yeah,
I think Spider-Man's been out. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
yeah.
Okay, I'm like, did they ever, go through with what they were saying they're doing?
Yes, they
Yes.
did.
So I
But I
just was.
didn't really hear too many good things about Spider either, so I was like, man, this is not making me want to play this game.
So I've been looking through their releases, and the best game on this list of what they've worked on would be a classic from April 1995. We're talking Gex. They worked on the original Gex. They made Gex. That's really the highlight, and I think they've gone downhill from
Stop.
there. Really.
No, that's not true. Okay, so here's the thing. I've played all three of the new Tomb Raider games. Now, for those of you that haven't played Rise of the Tomb Raider, I highly recommend it. It builds off of the first one story, kind of, sort of, but not really. It gives more exposition into her background as why she's doing all this. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider is probably the best out of the series. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I think, I think it's Eidos Montreal. No, Eidos Montreal touched this game. They were helping them out with the development of this game, and because obviously they were working on the Avengers, they needed help fixing or finishing up Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. So, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it's okay. It could be better. I would have preferred that Crystal Dynamics finish up the trilogy that they were working on, but hey, it is what it is. I would have to
They
go for a rant.
uh they're not even credited under developers for Shadow. It's
Oh,
only Idris Montreal. They may have not even touched this game.
I think they touched it like the beginnings of it. You know,
Like it's probably their. I mean, of course, it's their assets and everything. It's
their
probably their
assets.
character
I think
models.
it was more of like, hey, we have this story for the next Tomb Raider game,
But
and they
yeah, it
just
looks like
so
yeah.
yeah, it was Eidos Montreal that touched it and ruined the trilogy for me. No offense, Eidos Montreal, but just stop touching
Well,
shit.
if it matters for anything, I know Shadow of the Tomb Raider is like one of the best games to benchmark your computer with.
I've heard that as well. I've heard that as well. But anyway, I highly recommend if you give Rise of the Tomb Raider a shot. It's probably on Epic Game Store, probably heavily discounted if you didn't pick it up this Christmas. They were giving it away for free. I highly recommend it. It's a great philosophical game, if that makes sense, and I think it's a good game. As opposed to, well, I guess not as opposed to, yeah, Avengers. What can I say?
What can you say that hasn't been said here?
It's a great single player game. That's it.
Uh, that's a possibility.
Yeah,
No, but for maybe I will retry Rise of the Tomb Raider
I would say if you're gonna try any of those three, try Rise of the Tomb Raider.
because I played the first one, and again, I get what they were going for. I get it. It just felt weird and edgy and dark, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah,
You've made edgy Tomb Raider.
yeah.
Um,
Are we excited for a new entry in the Tomb Raider series?
So, if they said, is it gonna be like a fourth, like the Tomb Raider 4,
They
basically?
didn't say
Or
anything. They just said there's a new
okay,
entry.
I would assume, or
Y-
unless the third one ended with like, oh, Lara's like done, which don't see why they would.
well,
But
isn't it that these are all prequels to the original games? Isn't that like the plot of these? That these are her first adventures?
It's kind of sort of. I think it's a new take on Lara
like a
Croft
reboot,
before
right?
she,
Basically.
yeah, before she turns into the badass that we know her as. I think this is her backstory of her turning into the badass. Um,
Maybe the fourth one will like not be like, it'll still follow, like it'll be a sequel to those, but it'll be kind of in the same like a not a remake of one, but
yeah,
like, oh, it's like now, like the fourth one's like now she's
yeah.
the badass.
What's
So,
the chance for dinosaurs in this one?
oh, I don't
That's
know.
what I was about to
I don't
ask.
know. I'm on Games
Maybe some
Radar right
dinos.
now, and it says appears to be gearing up for the next installment of the series. So yeah, it will.
See,
Okay.
you know what? That would make me interested. Dinosaurs.
Listen, man.
Give me some fun in
I
there.
don't know. This also says, of course, this doesn't mean that the studio is working on the next Tomb Raider game, but from the job description, it does seem very likely. The Tomb Raider series is celebrating its 25th anniversary throughout 2021, with Crystal Dynamics actually teasing. Oh, we already did that. This
Like they've teased and now they've shown.
noting that the next Tomb Raider game will unify the reboot trilogy with the classic games. So yeah,
Oh.
Ryan, you were right.
Okay.
Okay, so I could dig that. I could actually jump into that because that's been the thing with them is, I'm like, can I just jump into these games?
I
Because they
think
seem to have a pretty linear story.
Yeah, but it's kind of like you can pick up the second one. Like I said, you could pick up Rise of the Tomb Raider, and you can kind of figure out what the hell's going on here. You know,
Yeah,
like
I
it gives
getcha.
you enough backstory for you to, get into this new game, or this second game. I do have here a listener question. Give me 1 second. Let me set this up. Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is from Christian again. We'll see if he, tries to spit in my face again like he did on Tuesday.
Ooh, that's scamp.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Do you
I
hear
can't
the-
hear Christian.
Okay. Hold on. Give me 1 second. What the hell, man? Okay. Sorry. Let's try this again.
Next installment.
Wait.
For me, it's kind of hard.
God damn it. Okay.
Hey, Pen Crew, it's Christian. I have a question for you. By the way, I'm at work. Are you guys excited for a new Tomb Raider game? And if so, what do you want out of the next installment? For me, it's kind of hard. What I want is things that I don't want it to be. I thought, I think the first game is probably my favorite of the new trilogy. I only played 1 and 2, mind you. But I found all of them to be a bit too derivative of games that were like critically acclaimed in the zeitgeist. Of course, I'm thinking about games like Uncharted. Very ironic, the way games inspire each other. Yeah, I don't know. I thought like it was too similar to Uncharted without it actually doing anything new and interesting. Kind of found it more generic. I would like them to refine the gunplay because none of the guns ever really felt good to shoot except for the bow and arrow. Bow and arrow was the most fun part. And I'm not really sure how, like, I guess I would want like a story that really fleshes out the character of Lara. I think that's what I want. Just a tighter narrative, and then gameplay. Make that all service the story. Anyway, Kingdom Hearts is not that good. Looking forward to your thoughts.
Wow.
Okay, bye.
Well,
I'm starting to think
he had me in the first half. Not gonna lie.
I was almost sold there.
I was like, oh, I agree with you, and you lost me.
Yeah. So, sorry, Christian, but you're banned from ever sending any more voicemails.
That last comment was
Yeah,
a little too
uncalled
far.
for.
I'm being honest.
Yeah, too far and uncalled for. Okay. So, I personally think, again, this is me being the person that's played all three of these games. I think Rise of the Tomb Raider kind of touched on those things that Uncharted does, where it's like, oh, it's set in this world where you think it's our world, like it's non-fantastical, if that makes sense. And then the last boss is just like some fucking shit out of a fairy tale book, Does that make sense?
Yeah, like the Uncharted bosses, kind of.
Yeah. So like the Uncharted bosses are always fantastical.
They're always kind of weird.
Or oh shit,
Indiana
this guy
Jones
is
shit.
actually part of a tree. or
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was thinking. The
Yeah.
tree king, man.
The guy from 2, I think it was, where you're in the
That was
jungle.
two.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
that's one, wasn't that? Wasn't that the end boss of one? And because he touched the
Yeah.
coffin.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep, yep, yep.
You're right. Spoilers for Uncharted 1.
Oh
Oh,
my yeah, let
okay.
me
Who
spoil
hasn't
something
played the first Uncharted game?
15 years ago
The
now.
people who've
right?
never owned a PS4 or a PS3. Okay.
Who didn't? Those consoles sold great. Well, the PS4 did.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Anyway, I think
I saw the movie.
I don't know if that counts.
Close enough, right?
I don't know if that counts. I have not seen the movie, so I don't know if
Oh,
that
neither
counts.
have I.
That's not good.
So 2 gets into the philosophical spot for me, where it's like you're helping this guy, and he might be Jesus Christ, he might not be, but like yeah, it's like real crazy. He might be Jesus Christ, he
Okay,
might
I feel
not
like
be.
I have to play this game now.
You're gonna have to play this game.
This is
I'm
the most
telling you,
ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
It's awesome though. It's awesome. It makes Laura ask herself questions that she doesn't like. Why is she doing the things that she does? You know, like yeah, she just shot 3 guys in the head, but like in the original games, that's just what she did. She was a stone cold killer. But in these games, she's asking herself like, is this the right thing to do? You know, like, am I doing the right thing? I just killed these guys, but like, is it for the better good? Am I working towards, I guess,
Greater good.
the greater, yeah, like, is it for the greater good? Am I doing the right thing? And this Jesus Christ character comes out of nowhere, and he's like, listen, I don't remember what he says. He gives her some information and gives her these thoughts of like, hey, essentially like, if you believe it's for the greater good and you're stopping these people from doing harm to the world, do it, you know? So again, I highly recommend playing this game. It's very, very good. I liked it just because like the Jesus Christ character got me hooked. You know, I guess I'm like into those religious things. Not really religious, but like makes you think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, that's all I got. Christian's wrong about Kingdom Hearts 4.
But absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess Crystal Dynamics, I hope that you don't mess this one up.
I got one thing to say on what Christian asked before we
ahead.
close up this thing. What do I want out of this Tomb Raider game? Because I said what I dislike about the other ones, all that. I agree. I forgot. They played a lot similarly to Uncharted. Forgot that was the era of that. I
Yeah.
just kind of associate doing that with Jedi Fallen Order. But what I'd like out of this is for you to keep the world you're in and everything, but if you're going to go for that supernaturalistic feel, go full blown into it. I think that's the way you sell it.
Yeah.
Is because like when I think Tomb Raider, I think getting chased by dinosaurs and shooting them with dual pistols, that kind of thing. Do Hidden Planet stuff, Hollow Earth, Raiders of the Lost Ark, all that kind of feel, that over the top world. Make it. Oh, I think grounding it didn't help you in the big scheme of things. I think grounding it just to get weirder with each game and more like, yeah, like Uncharted per se, doesn't help it. So I think go all out with that aspect of it. I think Tomb Raider has always thrived on being weird and outlandish. So be weird and outlandish with it. And yeah, clean up the gunplay.
Okay. Yeah, I would have to say that he's definitely right on one thing, and the fact that the bow and arrow is probably the best thing to use in this game.
I remember the bow and arrow feeling amazing.
Yeah.
And like you could craft different arrows, right?
Yeah. Gunplay could be
Yeah.
a little better. I happen to think that. Well, I happen to like that they give her like a mystery to go on, like what her father's was up to or whatever. I prefer it to be grounded as opposed to me going to shoot some dinos with dual pistols. Pistols. I don't know why I said pistols.
But you see, all these games are grounded at the moment.
Yeah, that's what I like. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
The Final Fantasy JRPG lover who's fought God a billion times enjoys his nice grounded
Yeah,
takes.
exactly. Yes. Thank you.
You love Kingdom Hearts.
Yes, and it's grounded because it's all about love and friendship. Okay?
We have definitions of grounded.
I don't think grounded means you think it means.
Grounded means Goofy isn't there.
Grounded means Goofy almost dies, and we start grind there for a second because we are afraid that he's
makes you,
dead.
you know, death is real. This
Yeah,
world's been
man.
grounded because
Yeah.
death is a thing that can happen.
Yeah. We also meet
You're right.
Hades. We also meet
Goofy
Hades.
could die.
Yeah. Grounded is seeing Mickey Mouse without a shirt on, and like, whoa, that's kind of weird. Put him back a
I
shirt.
don't think that's what grounded means.
I don't know. I guess we have different definitions of grounded, guys. I guess so.
I think we do. Yeah.
No, but I do like the grounded stuff where she, like I said, she's not shooting dinosaurs. I wouldn't say grounded. I guess I like the narrative that they're giving us. You know, the mystery of her father and her trying to defeat these bad guys.
I mean, prequels are always going to be kind of cool. There's something about knowing your destination and knowing how you got to that destination that's interesting.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe a few games pass by and we see her in the inner world. I forgot what you guys called it.
What's it called? Hollow Earth.
The Hollow Earth. There you go. And just shooting dinos.
Hear me out for this next game. This is my final pitch. Atlantis. We go underwater and shoot.
Oh, you go
fish
underwater.
people.
That'd be
I
cool.
could
Yeah.
definitely see that. Yeah.
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 All right.
I would.
Crystal Dynamics, if you're listening to this, scrap everything. Start work on Atlantis.
The problem is, like, it's all water, so she's got to come up for air.
I mean,
They can do some weird artifact thing where she can like,
Yeah.
be underwater.
Okay, all right.
It's Tomb Raider.
That's not
it's
really
too
grounded,
There'll be a
guys.
puzzle. You
We're
drain
looking
the
at-
Oh.
ocean.
I want her to talk to Jesus, but that's not. It could be Jesus. It could
I
not
want to talk
be
to some man who
Jesus.
could be Jesus, but I want my game to be grounded.
Yeah. You know, all I'm saying is we could throw in some more historical people
No.
in there. You know, what is Hercules up to? Anyway, let's.
I'm fighting some
Is he still fighting out Cerberus out there?
creatures. Probably. That's what he does.
Probably.
Kind of his thing.
Probably. Let's close out the show with some final thoughts. Ryan, any last words?
Crystal Dynamics, you've only made Gex that I've truly enjoyed. Try better.
Oh God, I'm telling you, play Rise of the Tomb Raider.
I'll try out
better next
Rise of
time.
the Tomb. I'll try Rise of the
You
Tomb
finish
Raider.
Elden Ring. Play Rise of the Tomb Raider. It could be on your Steam Deck, for all you know.
It probably is.
Yeah, give it that.
I'll
shot.
give it a go.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's all.
But
I
no,
ask.
Crystal Dynamics,
Are they on?
you make beautiful worlds. They make beautiful games. There's no substance to it. I want my meal to look good and taste good.
You want your cake?
Oh,
and-
their meals just look good.
Okay. Again,
I think that's the best way to put it for Crystal Dynamics in my head.
she's talking to a guy that might or might not be Jesus in the second game, so I think you could eat it too. That's all
I
I'm
think
saying.
you're really selling this Jesus theory.
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna have to go play this specifically because I'm like I want to.
Honestly, I think you guys. I'm gonna give you a homework assignment, and I think you guys should really, really take it to heart.
Are they on Game
Lane?
Pass?
They might
I
be.
can check.
Lane,
I thought I saw
need
something
you-
about one of them.
I need you to put down Elden Ring and Destiny for at least
Okay,
a
that's
week.
gonna be a little hard.
At least a week,
I'll try. I'll try my best.
and just play some.
promises.
Just knock this game out.
Okay.
You know,
Rise of the Tomb Raider is not on Games Pass.
that's unfortunate.
I thought one of them was.
But Rise of the Tomb Raider is out. Let me check on Epic Game Store. Let's
But
see how much it is.
Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13 is.
Yeah.
Let's go. Install now.
Yes. Yes.
See. Now that I heard that, I'm like, oh, I could go play that.
I mean, you could. You could definitely play that.
Play Lightning Returns.
I'm just give it a shot.
Always.
Just honestly, just seriously, out of all the jokes aside, give this game a shot. Give it at least 3 hours of your time. If you don't like it, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. But if you do, thank me later. All right?
All right.
And
All
thank that
right.
Jesus guy too.
Thank you, Video Game Jesus.
Lane, do you have anything else to say before we close out the show?
Let's see. Yeah, I hope. I mean, I'm interested to see what the new Tomb Raider is going to be like. You know, at the very least, I'm interested. You know, if it's good,
Yeah.
that's awesome. If it's not, I don't really have any skin in this game. So,
Okay.
you know,
That's upsetting.
for your sake, I hope it's good. So,
I hope
you
so
know.
too. You know, we'll finally get the third entry in the game, in the series that we deserve. Not Shadow.
Yeah.
Never Shadow. We don't speak about Shadow.
That's that hedgehog, right?
No, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh no. Okay.
We speak about Shadow the Hedgehog often.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, we do.
Okay. You said shadow, so I was like, oh, that
My
you know,
apologies.
black red hedgehog.
The edgy hog.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
he's
don't
got the
call
guns.
him the edgy hog. With that being said,
His gunplay was pretty good.
Yeah, he has
that-
been a
that
gunfight.
game?
all right,
Yeah.
okay, guys, let's do some plugs. Lane, where can people find you?
Just about any social media with link _394. Mostly probably on Twitter. So yeah, go follow me on there.
Okay, Ryan, where can people find you?
Possibly not here anymore after some of the takes I've made. But people can find me at RyanAlion3055 on Twitter. It should be right there for wherever and whatever I'm doing in this wild world of the internet.
Okay, and of course you could find Eric probably stabbing me in the back on Twitter at PenConquest. Yeah,
Who did it?
that's pretty much it. No, I'm pretty sure it's Eric. That's the only explanation it could be.
I'm sure we'll find out soon.
We will find out next week on Monday when I interrogate both of them.
Wonderful.
Stay tuned.
Having
Stay
said
tuned.
that, thank you everybody and have a wonderful night. See ya.